Hey everybody, it's Sally from Sally Stampers. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm bringing you a slightly different project. As you can see, it looks a bit odd because we've got this line here. I've laid it down so you can see it. I'm not going to tell you what it is until I've taken the lid off because I want you to see how it works. It is an exploding mini champagne box. How cute is that? It's got these lovely little beads going on here. So obviously it fans out and then you open it up and there you have, you can leave that up or you can put it down either way. But inside is a small bottle of fizz. It's a shame really that I had to buy two, isn't it, to do this project, but anyway, I'm sure I will enjoy them over this festive season. But yeah, it's just an exploding box, but it's just lovely, and I think it's so nice because you can sort of tuck everything in, pop your lid on, and I'll try and do the back first so that those little beads stay in, and then it kind of just looks like a normal box with some sort of random excuse me, some sort of random thing going on here. But yeah, and I also, if you might have noticed, I've used Blackberry Bliss because I just thought, do you know what, why do I want to use white or black, or, you know, I thought, no, I'm going to be really contraire, so I've gone with Blackberry Bliss, and I actually think it looks really nice with this silver and white. What do you think? I like it. So let's go ahead and make it. It's really simple. So to start off with, obviously you're going to need your scoring board, and you will need a, wherever they've gone, here it is, a sheet of Blackberry Bliss cardstock that is 11 inches by 10¼ inches. So that will be 28.5 by 26.5 centimetres. So on the long side, we're going to score at 2.5, 5, 7.5 and 10. Then we're going to rotate clockwise, and on the short side we're going to score at 2.5 and 6. So on the long side we scored at 2.5, 5, 7.5 and 10. In centimetres that's 6.5, 13, 19.5, 26. Then we rotated clockwise, and on the short side we scored at 2.5 and 6, which is 6.5 and 15.5 centimetres. Okay, let's get rid of that for a minute. And then, as you know, we're going to fold and burnish all of these score lines. And I have used Blackberry Bliss again, just because, as I say, I just really like it, and I thought it looked really nice with the silver. I was torn with doing the wrapped in plaid DSP and a navy or a shaded spruce, and that was simply because I foolishly bought one white and one gold beads, and I thought, oh, I'll have to use something that's got gold in the DSP, so otherwise it will look silly. And then I thought, you know what, no, I'm not. I had already prepared all of this anyway, and I thought, I'm not wasting it, so we'll just go with it and deal with it when we get there. Okay, so fold and burnish all of your score lines. So you'll have a long piece, a medium piece and a square piece at the bottom. So the square pieces across the bottom, you need to cut up the vertical score lines because these are going to be the base of your box. And then at the very end you've got this long thin piece that can be just cut away. And equally the top long thin piece here also needs to be cut away. Now if you aren't confident in using scissors to cut down these long sections here, then you can use your trimmer. So starting with your first vertical score line, you're going to pop it in making sure it's lined up, and then you can cut it all the way down. Please don't do that. What's happening here? Oh, my blade's having a little moment. Well, maybe it needs changing, but we'll not do that right now. But you can just cut down with your blade and obviously stop once you get to that horizontal score line. If you're confident in using your scissors, then obviously, just as I'm doing, we're just going to cut down each one. So you should end up with your 4 long pieces separated, your 4 squares at the bottom separated, and this small tab at the side. Okay, so now we're going to pop some, just going to get my bone folder and try and straighten out that bit there. Okay, so I'll stick my DSP on now. So I have 4 pieces to put on the main body of the card, and then I have 4 pieces to go on what I call the falling sides, okay, which are these parts. So the DSP that actually go on the box are 3 1/4 by 2 1/4 inches. In centimetres, that is 8 1/2 by 6. So I'm just going to whiz along and stick all of these on. And obviously you're going to need 4. If, like me, you're using a pattern that has direction on it, just make sure you're cutting them all the right way when you pop them on, because it's quite easy to get carried away and then suddenly think, oh no, I've got one stripe going that way and one going that way. And then, so just be mindful of that. And as you can see with this one as well, I've got that thin gold stripe, thin silver stripe just going across the top there, so they're all the same. So these, what I've called the falling sides pieces of DSP, these are 4 inches by 2 1/4, which is 10 1/2 by 6. Thankfully these don't have to have direction, so we'll stick these on. And then obviously we can then stick our box together. Like I said, it is really quite a simple project to a degree. Okay, so that's all of my DSP stuck on. So I'm just going to get some of my tear and tape, which I'm just going to stick on here. I'm going to just put a couple of pieces on there just to hold that in place. And then I also want some across the bottom. And as you know, I always like to fold my box up. I know that this is the front, so this is where my tear and tape is going to go on this, just on this piece here. Okay, so I'm going to take the backing off here. Fold this over, and that should all line up perfectly. And then, as I said, this has my tear and tape on, so I'm going to fold the sides in, the bottom, and then take the backing off these and just fold that over there. And obviously if you want to, just pop your hand inside and press it down. So that is my box created. So I did buy these off eBay. I don't even think they were £1 or maybe about £1 for them. And they come in all varieties of colours. Just literally open them out slightly and I think they're called something like bead spray or something like that. Now mine are slightly too long to put in directly, as you can see, so all I simply did was fold the bottom up, because this is wire, so it's easy enough to bend and move, and that then sat nicely in. And then I literally just got some everyday sellotape, sticky tape, whatever you want to call it, and I just grabbed a couple of lengths of this and just, oops, don't lose the end, oh bother, oh there it is. Whew. If anybody else knows a secret way of not losing the end of sellotape when you just cut it, oh my crumbs. Right, so let's fold that over now so I know where that ending's next time. And yeah, and I've simply just popped some sellotape. I've made sure that I've used some over where the fold is, so that those sharp ends just don't, I mean, not that anybody would want to put their hands inside, but you just don't know. And then I literally just put this in till that folded piece touches the bottom, and then I just use that sellotape to stick it down. I don't know if you can see, there you go, it's literally just stuck in place. And then you can just sort of bend these wires just slightly to create that burst effect, and then pop your wine inside, or your champagne, or whatever you want. And these just don't want to fan today. There we go, it's a bit better. So you still get a lovely spray of those, and then obviously these will just close up. So we just need to do our lid. So using again another piece of Blackberry Bliss here, my lid is 4.5 by 4.5 inches, which is 11.5 by 11.5 centimetres, and we just need to score at 1 inch on all sides, which is 2.5 centimetres. I've just realised actually I do have this shim. I can use this that I'm going to be using shortly, because it's the same cardstock. So 1 inch, 2.5 centimetres on all 4 sides with your shim, so it fits nicely. Okay, and then the usual practice, fold and burnish all those score lines, and then scissors, just cut the corners. You know the drill by now, and if you don't, then hop along to some of my other videos where you will see basic box making and things like that. Oops. So just cut the corners, get rid of those. My DSP, so my lid, the top part, I've lost my snail, it's here. The top part of your DSP is 2.25 by 2.25 inches, which is 6 by 6 centimetres. That just goes on the top. And then the sides, these 4 little pieces for the sides, are 2.25 by 3/4, which is 6 by 2 centimetres. Pop those on the sides. The only downside of these little bits of paper are they're quite fiddly, but obviously worth it in the end. And the last one, get there in the end. Okay, and then I'm literally just gonna throw some little squares of tear and tape onto these tabs. And then all that's left to do is a tiny piece. Look at that, that couldn't have been any better, could it? Take all my backing off. And the last one, and then we just make them up, as you know. Tuck those under, press that adhesive down. Wet glue works just as well. There's our lid. As I said, I always pop the back on first just to hold all of those beads and things in place. Then the front. Come on, come on, come on. Oops. It was going in between the cardstock and the DSP there. So there's my lid. And then my last but not least bit, my starburst punch for some coordinating cardstock. So it's my Blackberry Bliss. Then I have my 2-inch circle punch. And of course, Itty Bitty Christmas. What else? Happy Christmas. Sorry, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year are, I would think, so perfect for now, because this could be for Christmas, it could be a New Year gift. Pop my little sentiment on, which is also stamped in Blackberry Bliss. 2-inch circle punch. There's that piece. Why do I keep losing my snail? I keep hiding it under stuff, that's why. Snail onto the back. That sits just nicely on there. I grab a couple of my dimensionals. Oh, my desk is in desperate need of a Christmas clean, and thankfully it will get done. It will get done now before I start playing with the new goodies. So exciting. I hope you've got your catalogues. If you haven't and you want one, please let me know. I can send one out to you without a problem. Right, just want to take that off so I can press my dimensionals down. And actually, while that's off, I'm also going to pop some basic rhinestones on. So I'm just going to add one up there. Oops. And a couple just down here. And I think that will do. I've got to get rid of this rubbish because it's driving me crazy. And then, right, I have to fan these more. They're driving me crazy. They just don't seem to... There we go. Get the old nails in there. Be a bit forceful. That's better. There we go. Close it all up. Get that lid on. And there you have it. 2 exploding champagne boxes. Hope you like them. Hope you've got somebody that can benefit from exploding champagne. Crikey, that would be a mess, wouldn't it? Hope you like them. Hope you've got someone you can give these to. And I hope to see you all again soon. Bye. Have a good Christmas, by the way.